Okay, so today we have 5.4, which is how to plug in, and this is an introduction to substitution. We'll be doing all of it on the next lesson. So in order to use substitution, one of the letters must be alone on one side of the equal sign. So it can be like x equals some stuff or y equals some stuff. And what we're gonna do is we are going to substitute, aka replace, the stuff from our step 1 into the second equation's matching letter. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's look at numbers 1, 2, 6, and 9. So we are first going to practice substituting. There's not going to be any solving here. So we have y equals 2, and then we have 2x plus 3y equals 12. Here we have y equals to some stuff, and I'm going to circle the stuff here. In this case, it's a 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that stuff and plug it into the second equation's y. So when I do this, I'm going to have 2x plus 3, big parentheses, equals 12. All right? That parentheses is where we put in the stuff for that y. In this case, it's going to be a 2. And then that's the end of what we're doing on this front side. This next question is, what's the only letter left after you substitute? The only letter left here is an X, all right? You only want to have one letter whenever you substitute. If you got both X and Y when you substitute, something has gone horribly wrong. So let's look at number 2. So number 2, we have X equals 3Y, and then 2X plus 3Y equals 12. Well, this time we have X equals some stuff. So I'm gonna circle that stuff, and it's X that equals this stuff. So I'm gonna replace the X in this other equation. So this means we're gonna have 2 big parentheses plus 3y equals 12. We are replacing this x here in that second equation with that 3y. So I'm gonna have 3y. So what is the only letter left? We should only have one, and it looks like we only have y's left, so that's good. Looking at number 6 here, we have negative 2x minus 3y equals 24, and then we have x equals y plus 19. So this time, the x equals stuff is on the bottom, so let me circle that here. And we are going to replace the other x with that stuff. So we're going to rewrite this first equation. So we have negative 2, big parentheses where x should be, minus 3y equals 24. We are replacing that x here that I have my arrow pointing to with this y plus 19, and that's substitution. Now, what's the only letter you have left? We should only have one, and in this case, it looks like we only have y's, so we're done there. All right, so here's number 9. We have y equals 2x plus 2, and then we also have y equals 4x minus 10. So we have both of these y's equaling to some stuff. So I'm just gonna circle this top one here, and it says y equals this 2x plus 2. I'm gonna replace it with the y in the other equation. So I'm gonna do a big blank space, equal sign, and then I have that 4x minus 10. All right, I just have to put a big kind of blank space here because all I'm doing is replacing this y. I don't have to put parentheses because there's no like numbers in front of this y. So this gives me 2x plus 2. What's the only letter we have left? X. So that means we substituted correctly. There is no more y's left. All right, so again, in each one of these, when you substitute, there should only be one letter left, all right? Now, after we practice doing all this substituting, what we're gonna do is we are going to actually solve for that first letter. So we have y equals 2, and this is 2x plus 3y equals 12. We know y's stuff is 2, so I'm gonna replace the other y with that 2. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, so now that I've done that, now I can start solving. We're gonna do all those same steps we dealt with during module 4. Parentheses, combine like terms, variable on one side, isolate, move the constant, move the coefficient. So let's do that. 3 times 2 is 6. So now we're left with 2x plus 6 equals 12. Now I subtract 6 on both sides. This gives me 2x equals 6. I get rid of that 2 by dividing it on both sides. This gives me x equals 3. So I figured out x's number when I solved and substituted. Let's look at 17. It's a little bit more of a challenge. So we have negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 4, x equals 5y minus 3. 5y minus 3 is the stuff, and I'm going to replace the x in the other equation. So I'm going to write this top equation out, leaving a big parentheses where this x is at. All right, so I've plugged that in. I only have y's left. This is good. This means that I can do my solving skills. So I multiply that negative 3. This gives me negative 15y plus 9. And then I bring down the plus 2y equals negative 4. Combine like terms. Negative 15y plus 2y is a negative 13y. Bring down that plus 9 equals negative 4. Subtract away the 9 on both sides. This gives me negative 13y equals negative 13. Divide that negative 13 on both sides. This leaves me with y equals a positive 1. So we figured out y's number after we substituted into the other equation. That's good. Tomorrow we're going to figure out x's number after this. All right, last example here. We have y equals 5x minus 18, and then we have y equals x plus 2. Both of these have a y equal to some stuff. So all I have to do is take this top one here, the stuff in this top one, and plug it into the other y. So I can write this as 5x minus 18 equals, because I'm replacing this y, that's why it's in red, with, and then equals to x plus 2. And now I can solve. I don't have any parentheses. I don't have any like terms, but my variable is not on one side. So I need to subtract away that x. That's what I'm going to do. Make sure you line it up on the other side. And technically that's a 1x. So 5x minus 1x is 4x. Bring down the minus 18. This equals that 2. Add that 18 on both sides. Gives you 4x equals 20. Divided by 4. This gives you x equals 5. So x's number is 5. We now know x's number. All right, that's the end of this video. Go ahead and try the rest of the problems.